Hello everyone and welcome to another character theory. So today's character theory, well, for starters, let me just explain why I'm going back to character theory in the first place. It is so unbelievably annoying to with my equipment to just play certain games, right? Certain games just don't work well with my equipment, and this is just honestly, I like this alternative better, even though it's not gonna get us much views. I still have a few hours of Minecraft recording that I can do my thing with. So of course there's gonna be some highlights, which are my failures. But anyways, let's talk about my creations. Let's go to the first subject. So, this subject in particular has a, let's say, very distinct, well, he has a very unique appearance and more unique powers. He has powers akin to Magneto from X-Men comics and lore and mythos. But we also added like a little sprinkle of him being, the joke sort of character. He is kind of the joke character that everyone makes fun of, and while he isn't the most smartest person, his will proves that he is a very valuable asset to the team when it comes down to it. Team of heroes. Forgot I mentioned that. Anyways, there should be more lore here. Try to looking at my computer, not finding anything, but let me see. Maybe there's something in here. There's stuff in here, but I mean, it's the same as before, right? No new characters. It's either he's a part of a lineup or something like that, or he's, we have his bio and then that's it. He's not one of the characters with a lot of story to him, even though there could be like any other character, because of course there could be. Like, look at his design. He's literally, like, in this design he looks like he's missing an arm, or at least it's being contained. What if he wasn't always a hero and he literally was a lab experiment? It would explain how he got his powers, but it wouldn't explain, like, I don't know, the heart on his chest, like the wound, not the wounds, but the markings of purple stained on his face, shaped like a mask. I doubt he would come up with something like that. Maybe that's what he tells others or his team. Maybe his mask is like his biggest secret. Then we got this arm thing. Now, My theory is that this is a power dampener. But like they cut off his arm, well, hand, if you want to be so specific. They cut off his hand and replaced it with a power dampener. That's interesting. Then I don't know what they did with his heart, but he looks like he's equipped, like he's ready. And look over here. That looks kind of, if it's not a weapon, it's a tool of some kind. But with all the armor on him, it wouldn't surprise me that it's a weapon of some kind, some sort of amplifier, if you will. Maybe he's being sent out on a mission, right? And maybe it's not a power dampener on his hand, but it's like a, well, it's, yes, it's a power dampener. No, it's not a power dampener. Maybe it can do it at will, like the controller can like choose when they stop using their powers and they use their powers. And that would lead me to the conclusion that that sample A, or subject A, is a experiment that's going around doing the dirty work for their master. But the only mystery here, well, of course there's a mask here. That's clearly a secret that he tends to keep. We can dive into that deeper if we wanted to go into like a story of his or like a book, something with him. But the heart on his chest, with blood, mind you, that's right over here. It could mean a lot of different things. But that looks like that's like carved into him. Like that doesn't, it looks like his heart is removed actually. Like picture like these being the bones, like the rib cage, this being a bit of flesh. But it's so like, it's like exactly carved for the armor plate. Like they definitely spent a lot of time not only developing the powers, but the power dampener, or like not dampener, you can choose when to dampen or you turn on the powers. Then you got the max thing, then you got the weapon, and then just the time that would take to like do this type of pain to what seems like a superhuman. If you need to cut off a man's arm just to put the power dampener on, that's not, that just speaks volumes, it speaks on their power level and how they could do, well, there could be a lot there, like they're not at their full power, right? I don't think they ever will be, because their hand's gone, and then they replaced it with a power dampener. I don't know, I mean, that's just a theory, but this just, like, the time that it took to make him this way is so significant, seems so significant to his story, right? So but again, we when we look at this black, that like the little, is that a, I know that wasn't meant to be there, but is that like a eye in his chest? That's like a little bit of a white dot in his chest. Okay. Like when you really look at it, don't you see that like little white dot? That's kind of, I know that this is AI generated. I never drew this to begin with. I'm just deciphering the clues. Not the clues, but the things that the AI art generator flew with, and how I could develop it or add it into or twist it into something significant to a story. But that's like a little bit of a white eye, in my opinion. It could, like, it looks a bit more of a like a white little heart. But it would be funner if it was a white eye, so we're just gonna go with it being a white eye. Cool, cool. Okay. It's so if that's a white eye in his stomach, we first gotta establish, why is that white eye in there? Is that it, are we dealing with not like a man-made experiment, but like a like they stole a person and they experimented with them. They didn't create subject one with, they didn't create this subject without a test subject first. So there had to be an original subject one before we got current subject one, is what I'm trying to say. There wasn't always subject one. And if you get what I'm putting down. So there's three theories I got for this. Theory A, that white eye in his chest, that is the thing that's giving him his powers. The things that maybe it talks to him or something. Maybe it's hungry for food or something or whatever. Maybe it only shows his face, their eyes, or whatever to him. It's sort of iffy, but we got another theory where I think maybe the white eyes were from some sort of magical source. Another classic tale with magic and tech infusing into each other. And that's how they escaped? Maybe. So maybe they were on a mission to get some sort of, they were on a mission and they sort of stumbled across this magical property that literally just attached to them and then there's the whole like why situation, how, when, all these different questions that can be answered I could picture this guy having a whole series, to be honest. And then we notice all of the sort of like rubies or blood sapphires or whatever. Are these like his style? Like, clearly this guy is he's more funny, more energetic, more personality based, right? So it wouldn't make a lot of sense for subject A, whatever you want to call him, to have such a gruesome attire. Like, they would try to, like, make it, like, they would, of course, nobody would choose this sort of attire, but here's the theory. What if those blood diamonds, like, all over his, armor are literally, like, stuck on him, like he can't take it off? That would be a little bit of an interesting concept, because number A, if he does remember his life, his old life, because we established that this is an experiment, so if he does remember his old life, he's never gonna be able to, like, go back to it, because he's who he is right now. Or B, he's not gonna, like... Hello everyone, sorry for the technical difficulties. We had some sort of technology errors, we had some... It doesn't matter. What matters is we're just gonna close off on that section. I'll probably, like, they were not that much of a relevant character anyways. I was just theorizing, but they can't be and of course any character can be relevant, but regardless, here we are, subject to they're in the sort of universe of notorious evils like Jackie Mo Purple, the Deadly Dragons, like the gods of that sort of universe, and like all of this unorthodox insanity that we know and love, but times that by 10 in that universe. So this, my friends, is just a normal cop. I know, strange, but it's true. So let me just check. Not finding anything. Computer, let's see. Again, over here. Striking Man. That's the name of the character, but yeah, not much for him either, but oh wait, hang on, we got some more. Alright, so the Deadly Museum, just a ruse suggested by Jackie Mo Purple to hide certain artifacts and riches, and it became Mr. Rarely's and Striking Man's biggest discovery, but Jackie put fake versions of artifacts on the pedestals, and that's what Mr. Rarely found. Okay, so doesn't have much to his character. If anything, it proves that he's one of the most respected cops, officers, whatever, because of his dealing with the supernatural, sci-fi, fantasy sort of creatures that roam the place 24/7, that rule the world of this sort of place. This sort of place ruled by powers, gods, demons, creatures, overwhelming amounts of forces that, like, the roster is almost endless, but he still stands as one of the most, if not the most, respected cops that actually live and haven't died yet. So there's that. So, already off the bat, should we look at his costume? No. Let's go. Should we go back to that? No. Let me. The Deadly Museum. Not seeing anything. My computer always has issues with trying to look up sort of characters, sort of pretty much anything. So it's always let me just look deadly. Not even wow, okay. Anyways, so the Deadly Museum must have been his most notorious finding with Jackie Mill Purple's rival, Mr. Rarely. And by this time I doubt that Mr. Rarely would even know of Jackie Mill Purple's sort of connection with him. Well, they wouldn't know the identity yet. And I'm not sure how they would react, but regardless, I don't know what else to say. That the Deadly Museum is... Maybe he lost some of his reputation that he earned from being a cop with people that outrank him, being kind of discarded as weak and pathetic because he's just a cop when there's all of these shadow manipulating actors that can create energy out of thin air. We got these incredible archers with equipment unseen before. Heck, we got all these man-made gods, pretty much, with their own unique abilities created with unknown resources. We have we have the whole group, the Deadly Dragons. Then we just have a little cop, a little measly cop, trying to find his way in the world, trying to find his way back to his status, because I guess he really cares about it. Cares about what people think. So I guess he kind of reminds me of Stryker and how brave you have to be. Like, he of course is one of the most bravest characters, because he went up against Jackie Mill Purple. Jackie Mill Purple is one of the most scared, imagine this, you have all of these you wake up to the news, you hear there's talk of this mastermind that holds the strings to beings beyond our comprehension, beyond what we think is possible, controlling each and every single country, slowly but surely, in the world. You wake up to that, then you grab your police badge and then go on like the day was normal. That's what they expect from you, but most people would just quit, right? I'm not the only person that would say to quit, but this guy is brave. He's relentless. His will is near unkillable. Well, until he actually dies, but that death will be sad. It's gonna be a lot more, and I'm thinking of making this guy a bit more developed than Stryker ever was from Mortal Kombat 11. Not 11, but Mortal Kombat in general. Yeah. I'm planning on making him a lot more developed. Anyways, look at where he's fighting. How he's fighting. Look at this. Look at his leg. It looks like, well, it's a wound, obviously. Doesn't look like a whole, like, shot to the leg. It looks more like a knife. Then we have what looks like, if we look over here, we can see like that something sticking out of his leg. I think there's a person under there with all the blood. Yeah, that's a person. He's pretty much just put his knee and struck it on a person's face. I think he just, that man's dead. It looks like he's fighting a war with, and then, so it looks like he's getting cheered on for his skills. I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to be promoted to a captain for his contribution to saving lives. Anyways, let's move on. Corey Stonehacker. These two are the same character, just in different transformations. Oh my god, Corey Stonehacker's a big one. Alright, so how do we want to explain this guy? So, you remember Jackie Mo Purple? I know you're gonna get tired of his name soon, if you haven't already. But Corey Stonehacker is pretty much this. Of course he's evil, but I mean, he's a more universal villain. He's the main villain, not the main villain, but one of the villains of my story I'm working on with Cup and C. You got Jacaris. You got all these different sorts of characters in like the Jaylabzip universe. Then we have him. So he, oh god, like the lore with this guy, man. Alright, I'm gonna try and explain this the best I can. Okay, let me just find. So you can notice here that he's in a team that saved the multiverse once. First. So in the series that I'm making, we're like assembling a team that is also save the that will also save the multiverse, but like we're assembling a team that will save the multiverse. But that's the second time. This is the first. This is different. This is like when everything like that didn't seem possible to endanger a whole, like endangering a country is bad enough. World, now you're pushing it. Galaxy, you're pushing it all the way to the limits. Universe, you're losing your mind. But now you pushed it to multiverse. That's where you get Corey Stonehacker. He was actually a big villain, sort of the boss of that manipulated villains from all types of universes in my multiversal story that you can check out now. It's finished. It has 103 episodes. That's my One Piece if you want to have a look at it. See what I did there? No? You wouldn't understand. Anyways, let me think here. What else is there? Dang. There's so much, yet so little that okay. Let me just show you guys what I mean by Corey Stonehacker being... Alright, there has to be... Here we go. Alright. The Glamour is the spaceship that the team that saved the multiverse was occupied in. Corey Stonehacker was the first who helped create it with Dartrix Dimensions, resources, thinking, and might have enough power to hold the incarnation of evil itself. That's how Dartrix Dimension became more observant after underestimating his powers and abilities. So, the first multiversal villain was like the devil, evil itself incarnate. Then we have the second one being, well, Corey Stonehacker. He's the one that made the Glamour to have not only a place to live while being, well, it's not really a place to live, it's more of a, it's just like a spaceship to travel for space. They already have like a little bit of a multiverse. No, a universe to live in. That's why I put them in a different... That's why I put them here. All of these guys saved the multiverse, and their reward was a whole universe to themselves that they rule. And that's why I have all of these characters referencing him as like the savior, because, well, he references himself as the savior. Nobody knows it yet, but he actually is technically a savior to them. I mean, he did, without his help, we wouldn't have a multiverse. A multiverse means no people, you get the gist. So, he is basically this mad scientist genius we've all heard before, but on a greater scale. Let me see this. Oh, he also has an ideology switch. So, He's very clever and smart, but he is also the most insane character. I'm talking worse than Jackie Purple, worse than the leader of the Deadly Dragons, worse than any insane character I have won over. And trust me when I say there's been a lot, but none compared to him. I'm talking worse than the devil here. This is not even, you can't describe, words can't even fathom how insane this man becomes. How willing this man is to give up everything. He cut off all of his attachment to everything that he cared about so he could go on to his quest for infinite power. And whenever he tells anyone this, they didn't know how serious he was. But that's why he was so interested in science. So he can find a loophole or a way to counter or like he's always looking for a loophole. And I think what I could do is have him use this ability, right? Because he was one of the saviors of the whole multiverse. He was one of the saviors of the whole multiverse. He has the ability to go from, he can go to a different universe, like the universe he earned for being the savior. He not only saved everyone but wanted to destroy everyone. That's crazy. It's really ironic though. One who helped save everything that has ever been seen before in infinite dimensions, in infinite realities, in infinite, well, not infinite universes, but you get the point. Sorry, I went on a tangent right there. I just got shell-shocked there for a second. What was I talking about? Corey Stonehacker, yes. So this man is no joke, right? We've established this. Look at all the influence this man has. My goodness. And then we talk about his father, right? So originally they didn't have a universe to themselves. So they have their own origins and they can choose whether or not they want to go back to this universe themselves if they want to. This is where we talk about the father of Corey Stonehacker and how he wanted to bring his son's intellect and mental prowess to light with his inventions, not with magic, because it seems cheap to him. So basically, we have Corey Stonehacker who wants power by he doesn't he has his limits. Not many limits, but he has limits to what he's doing, what he is willing to do for power. But that is also magic. That includes magic. He feels like it's a cheap way out for his goal, and it feels unearned to him. He wants to have the feeling of truly being the one to craft the power, not the one summoning it in from another source who has more. He wants the power, and maybe that's his whole goal. Maybe his power quest and isn't really physical power, but it's like this leverage you have. Like, if you don't do this, I'll do this sort of thing. And he can literally ask for anything because he has the biggest leverage of all, everything, and more. If he has the ability to destroy the multiverse, then maybe he has the ability to put that over people. Like, if you don't do what I say, I will destroy us all. He clearly cut off his attachment to everything. He has a father, cut his attachment off to him. He doesn't matter. Cut off his attachment, literal life itself. It doesn't matter to him. Power is his everything. And even if he's willing to take himself out with everyone else in a big bang if he has to. So yeah, that's pretty much him, right? That's pretty much who the... Alright, we have one more character. Here we go. Let me get this. I gotta do this fast. 3, 2, 1. Alright, so right here, this is Aggresiva, one of the hooded figures that created the dimensional weapon. Aggresiva is an interesting character. Mostly appears in like what you see, the story that I told with... Okay. The story I told with the dimensional story. Anyway, she's the strongest out of the hooded figures. She used to be fearless until an accident. We're searching for a magical Liquidtium. She lost an eye, and the fear that something going wrong in these dimensions is what breaks her inside, yet she hides it in with a reassuring smile. So the 1,000-year part. So she, as well as the other dimensional figures, well, hooded figures, I mean, are they're older than the Overlord, aren't they? Yeah, they have to be, because they made the Overlord's weapon. They made the Overlord's weapon, which is the dimensional weapon, to... Why did they make the dimensional weapon again? Oh, yeah. Yeah, they wanted knowledge, right? I mean, they were, small seeds here, inventors, until they made this groundbreaking discovery where they could do whatever they wanted to. They could save people, they could stop awful people. They could do whatever they please. But an accident happened where they got consumed by one of the materials that's used for the dimensional weapon, magical liquidtium. This magical liquidtium made them, the whole group of hooded figures, into these sort of hybrid-esque sort of, like they're this sort of slime-like hybrid-esque creatures with the ability to transform into different things, right? They have this, hang on, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, they can shapeshift, and they have energy plus whatever. This sort of accident made their lifespans longer. It pretty much enhanced them in every single way. They could live longer, but once they lost their dimensional weapon, they had to, like, rely on different ways of getting to, well, home. They had to figure out different ways of they had to figure out different ways to get, I think what they wanted to do was to turn themselves back. At least I think. This story is pretty old, so I'm not sure. Okay, and I think that is it for this video. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you never miss another video. Goodness, this was long. I'll see you later. Bye.